Awesome. Thank you so much, Priya. Yeah, welcome everybody. This is ACDT number 49. Today's August 18th, 2025. Yeah, let's just get right into it. So the first item on the agenda is Fusaka DevNet. As I understand now, Fusaka DevNet 4 is down. What are the other updates, Barnabas, if you want to share?
Right. So there are a few. DevNet 3 is still online, and we plan to keep it around for the foreseeable future. Uh, we are slowly rolling out the images of the trunk branches of different client teams. I think most of the EAs already have everything in their master or main, and we are waiting for the CL teams also to start slowly merging everything into their develop branches. And then once that's done, then ideally we're gonna be running DevNet 5 as well. Hopefully with no more huge changes or no more spec changes needed, or no more spec clarifications are needed. So we are aiming to launch that maybe next week, Tuesday. Ideally, most client teams will have something by then in their master branches.
Sounds great. Any oppositions on the timing? I don't think there's major updates that need to be done by clients, if I understand correctly. But is there anything that needs to be done other than merging into main from clients? Any concerns, basically? One message, DevNet 5 should also be pretty big, similar to DevNet 4. Okay. Same BPO schedules, I would assume? Or is it
We're
gonna be
gonna
different?
we're gonna try to do the nicer numbers with two to three. So target to two to max value three to have a better calculation for the what's the value called?
The fraction, you
The
mean?
fraction. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Cool. All right. Good. This is looking good. Okay, great. Um, yeah, all right. On the testing side, I can give an update. The next item is basically BPO static tests. We are almost ready. We have tagged a new release of East that we can use to test the clients. So the approach is going to be that we have now tests with the exact same scenario that happened on the DevNet 4 fork and other similar test cases and scenarios for that. So we have tagged the version 1 for Devon 5 and it's currently building. And as soon as it's done, we're gonna make the release and then update Hive. With this, we're gonna run the tests against all clients and just verify that the BPO issue that was present in Devon 4 is it's already fixed by everyone. Yeah, that's basically the update on that. We'll keep you updated, and we'll try to update Hive as soon as possible to get the information out. All right. Any comments on this, or either DevNet or static tests from anyone? Yeah, right. I guess it's just waiting until DevNet 5 for next week. All right, good. Moving on gas limit testing updates, there was a point brought up by Ben that we should discuss 60 million gas pre-Fusaka. Ben, do you want to expand this?
Yeah, so there's been a lot of work going on to improve the worst case scenarios. that will be fixed post Fusaka through repricing. But sort of I'm trying to gauge people's thoughts on going to 60 million as was originally planned pre Fusaka. If anybody has any thoughts.
Hey Ben, this is Justin from Base Team. I don't have all the details. Happy to engage offline with them. We had some concerns with EC recover between 45 and 60 million gas.
Do you mean
Okay.
some particular scenario for EC recover? Because from opcode testing, it was quite fast, fast enough to consider 60.
I don't want to. I don't want to derail this. I know that there's a separate conversation happening on Telegram. I just wanted to raise the issue that Besu has some hesitancy about going to 60 million gas.
So from my perspective only, if I can chime in now, is that there are just few things which we still need to consider. It's like Modex performance before Fusaka repricings is that GEF still is working on improvements. There was one attempt which was showing quite significant improvements, but was causing some regressions in other places. So there still need to be some work being done here. And yeah, I guess we'll discuss that a little bit this week to see what else can be done and how we can help them testing that out. Other thing is that we integrated EST tests and benchmark tests. On version 3 of those benchmarks, we noticed quite a lot of slow scenarios for Bezu, which already we are in touch with Bezu team here. So it was more specifically about mod Aris scenarios. But yeah, this needs to be analyzed. Maybe this is some other inputs in tests which we maybe should analyze. But anyway, this is done. And also there is a new version of benchmarks which we integrated, but is having one quite significant regression, which is causing tests to basically kill the nodes. So yeah, but this is not like it is slow on some particular example on some small gas limits, but by mistake, EST tests are enabling some very, very huge blocks in gigagas. So yeah, so this might actually crash. And yeah, last thing, which would be stateful testing, which I'm working on exactly right now, is to enable a way on how to write and execute stateful tests on top of mainnet and bloatnet and reproduce, for example, Xen scenarios or other heavy state access scenarios and see how impactful those will be, and like at least open this branch of scenarios for reproducible testing. But yeah, hopefully this week I will have something to share with Carlos Perez to work on new scenarios out there. But yeah, more specifically, the most important issues right now with 60, which I see, is Modex with GEF and some new scenarios found for Bezu.
Excellent. So a question from team on the chat is that given EC recovery prices aren't going to be changing in Fusaka, is this a blocker for you post fork? It sounds from Ben that it isn't, but maybe we want to dig a little bit deeper onto that. Repricing EC recovery, I mean.
Yeah,
That
that
was
question was
for
for Besu,
Besu.
yeah, not for Nethermind. Like if like yeah, is there a plan? Like basically, like yeah, is there something that like at the client level you think you can do to improve this, or do we like actually need a repricing to fix these issues?
Right, so I'm not running point on the gas repricing issue at the moment, so I can't really speak to that, but I do know that we have multiple opcodes as well as the Modex precompile that we worry about transitioning from 45 million gas to 60 million gas. That is a performance problem for us. You know, we're currently working on it and we're trying to optimize it, but you know, it's a known issue.
Yeah. Yeah, Camille?
So yeah, so looking at the data from EC, there is a EC ad scenarios which are particularly slow for Bezu. Yeah, looking at the other clients, those scenarios are way much higher, and the slowest one for Bezu looking right now is like 23 megagas per second. So yeah, up for discussion, but for 60, it will be slower, but it won't reach like even 3 seconds blocks. What would be good, yeah, as Marius mentioning, to get like a Bezu team statement to get exactly what maybe there is something which we are missing here and we should test more deeply.
I think, Camille, if you can share the results that you're looking at with the Besu team and with everyone, I think that would be very helpful.
Yeah, I will bump it up on our Discord channel with gas limit testing.
Awesome. All right. So it seems like we have to do more analysis based on the results. Is there any other concerns from other client teams regarding gas limits? Do we need more benchmarking? Do we need more information? Or what's the current stance from everybody else? I see Red on the call. Does anybody have any opinion? All right. Red says no concern. Anybody from Aragon? No concern. Okay. And Marius mentions that we need more benchmarking with regards to state and yeah. Marius, do you want to expand on that or on SnapSync failures?
Yeah, so I don't know that much about it, but apparently we're running periodical snap syncs on these networks, and for perf devnet 2, all clients failed to snap sync within 70 hours, and that is with a network that is twice mainnet size, so it's not that much bigger. So that is something that all clients should be aware of and should look into what's happening on their client. And I can send some more info in the chat.
So to respond to Ansgar's comment, I think this is a work in progress. So right now we're trying to unify most of the tests into execution spec tests. And we're trying to make releases to make consistent testing across all the clients. But the framework is not perfect yet. Mainly, we don't have stateful tests in East because it's hard for them to produce. So we're still working on a way to have this unified. But I think at the end game or the final the final like benchmark testing that we have is all unified in East, and we can like take the same measurements per team on each client. I'm sorry, on all clients, but using the same tests. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. And I wasn't trying to imply that we should already be there, right? Like I think that is a big project. So I was just curious kind of what the current state is. I do think a nice goal eventually would be to basically get to a place where these are reliable enough that they actually give us confident visibility into blockers and bottlenecks, right? Because I do think right now we're still in this position where sometimes it's very hard to say, okay, this looks good on all clients, but then maybe the way these benchmarks were done didn't account for all the client-specific problems. And so then out of quote unquote nowhere, at least from the kind of top level view, new problems emerge. And so I think really trying to get to the highest visibility possible, I think would be really, really valuable.
Yeah, completely agree. So, and just to highlight, so the latest version that Camille mentions is it added a lot of tests from east side. So I think that's one of the reasons why we spotted new things. But I think the longer that we go on east testing, the less new tests that we're gonna see, and it's gonna be more stable. So yeah, just to summarize, we have many new tests now, and I think that's the reason why we catch some things that we didn't catch before, in my opinion. Yeah, Camille?
Yeah, and just exactly to that, the tests which we run right now, not yet on the desired machines, but on a side on weaker machines that actually we use. EC recover is from EST test suite is performing at 60 megagas per second for all of the clients, at least 60 megagas. So not sure. I need to understand a little bit more what exactly is the thing about EC recover here.
Also, if we can take a look at your specific tests that you are running for Easy Recover on Bisu, I think will be very good that we can import them into East to have them in this benchmark test set, so we can run them against all clients. So maybe there's a blind spot in our tests, specifically for Easy Recover that we're not seeing. Yeah.
So I don't want to bias this too much towards EC recover. I think it is an issue. I don't have the details on that. I think it's the mod exp stuff though that is more of the concern. So we have specific, just to elaborate here, we have 9 opcodes and the mod exp precompile that are below 20 million gas, 20 megagas. So that's more the area of focus that we need to address if we want to consider raising gas summit before Fusaka.
Of course, yeah. In any way, I think if you can share the benchmark tests, just so we can also write a similar test for East, I think that would be great, just to make sure that we're not missing anything. Yeah. Who can we reach out
Just
from
to
Besu's
clarify,
side? Sorry, who can we reach from Besu's side to that has the details on this
Yeah,
specific
so
vectors?
Mezian Hamlat, who's currently out for August, is our performance engineer, but Simon Dudley has been doing a lot of this testing as well. He's in the Australian time zone though, so he doesn't usually make these calls.
Excellent. We try to reach him async, just to see if we can implement the same tests in East. Yeah. Camille, yeah.
So yeah, just last question. By 20 megagas, you mean 20 megagas per second performance?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So here is all for the decision. If 20 megagas is something which we want to treat right now as a security concern, or we should fit into like 4-second execution time. So based on that, the decision should be made. Like best would be, of course, to be below even 2. But yeah, mod XP, as I can see for now, for sure, there is some work needs to be done for Geth, where we have 15 or something like that, while Bezu's slowest scenario, which we have right now for Bezu on our end, is 19. And whenever I was thinking about any potential increase, it would be that it would be good to be that worst scenario is not above 3 seconds. And surely not above or close to 4. With Geth, it is 4 exactly. With Bezo, it will be close to 3.
All right, thank you. And yeah, Luis from East team, he shared the link to the exact test that we're running on East side. So yeah, just for reference, if anybody wants to take a look. All right, cool. Anything else on benchmarking, or we can move on to the next topic?
one thing only from me, that whenever any client team or anyone here listening is building any new scenarios or any new tools, please maybe consider at first to work on EST benchmarking approach. So this way we'll be able to run it on our existing infrastructure and verify it against all of the clients. Even recently, if Efrex from Lambda team, Lambda class team is joined, so they are also being verified right now. So it would be really cool to follow that approach moving forward, rather than creating separate tools, because it will add additional level of complexity to integrate everything.
Makes sense. Perfect. Yeah, thank you so much. Cool. All right. Before jumping into the next topic is Sunnyside Labs, but I think there's a quick topic that Barnabas just brought up about the PR that has to be merged. I'm gonna share the link here. Barnabas, anything that you want to add to this PR? Any comments?
Yeah, so my general comments would be that ideally we want to be able to local test blood numbers over 32 as well. And this limitation is present in the minimal preset only. So this is a CL only change. Ideally, we want to bump this to the same values as mainnet so we can test larger number of blobs throughput as well. Please take a look and approve it if you want and argue if you don't. And ideally, this should make it into the full releases. We can, if everybody agrees, then we can include it in Alpha 5 release with Justin.
Sorry, Barnabas, was that for me?
This is for CLW.
CL specs. Justin Dragler.
Is there any reason to not do this, Barnabas?
Not that I can see.
Okay. Yeah, it seems fine just from first pass to me.
The only reason not to do it is it's so late, but that's about it.
All right. Yeah, please comment and approve if we are moving forward, or was just leave the comment. All right, thank you. The next topic is Sunnyside Labs. Yeah, I just wanted to put this point here if there's anything to share, but I'm not sure if anyone from Sunnyside has joined the call, or if there is any updates.
Yeah, hi.
Thank you. Yeah.
I'm Minya from SciSci Labs. We don't have anything much new since last week, except for this report that we put out on Discord last week. So please check it out if you haven't. And thank you.
Excellent. Thanks. All right. Yeah, and the last topic is the safe head discussion. I think Mikhail raised this on ACDE last week, but I'm really not sure if there's any updates on that or if Mikhail can comment on this topic. So I just added it to have a follow-up discussion today, but if there's not news on this or if there's no one here that can comment on this, let me share the link to the comment in the chat. This discussion I'm referring to. Basically, the safe head on the EL clients. There was a discussion last ACDE about changing the semantics or the behavior of this endpoint. Is there anybody here that has more context on this or any updates on this topic? seems like not. Yeah, we can follow this topic on the ACDE, I assume. All right. That was the last topic in the agenda for today. Anything else that anybody wants to bring up or any concerns about any other topic? Going once, going twice.
I have something really quick. I just looked through the benchmarks and I noticed that Geth and Aragon are at 33 million gas for the point evaluation precompile. So I think it's probably would be nice for those teams, us and Aragon, to look into this, because those are the only cases significantly below 16 megagas per second for those clients. So point evaluation precompile.
Isn't it that it is more or less the same performance for all of the clients because of how it works right now? And the only way to improve that would be to just reprice it?
Is it? I don't know. I didn't look at the other clients.
Just opening that right now, but as far as I recall, this performs almost identically for all of the clients.
That's probably because they use the KZG library for it, right?
Yeah, I recall the same. It was about 52 megagas per second for all the clients.
But I don't see it in the Nethermind chart, so I don't know.
Nethermind is there, but for some reason we have warming enabled for that scenario.
Okay.
Yeah, and this throws Nethermind quite high on a chart.
Okay.
But without it, it will be also on the same level as I recall from the past results. Just some recent merge make it again fast.
Yeah, I think that this is probably a case for optimizing CKZG and or repricing the point evaluation precompile.
Do we need
33
sorry, I just want to mention if we are missing any cases on this on the east.
The east scenario is performing exactly the same. So both are identical. Ours and east is exactly the same. Both with same performance. Just that at least with my assumption that it is more or less around 32, 33 megagas per second. It does not much violates the rule of 3-4 second blocks. It's on 3 second actually. So yet to be maybe considered how much it affects the 100 goal or something. We can bring it to the discussion to consider it moving forward. But definitely, if you want to go higher, we need to consider either some optimizations in the library, as we all use the same one, or repricing for Glamsterdam.
One more note, could every EL try to sync to PerfDevNet 2 and see locally what kind of problems you're facing? Because none of the clients being able to sync on our sync test seems to be, there might be some other underlying issue.
We'll look in Nethermind for that.
Thank you. All right. Anything else? It seems like we have to take a look at these benchmark results, unify, and take a follow-up on next week's ACDT, if possible. Anyway, okay. Any other topics anybody wants to bring up before we wrap up? Okay. If not, I think that's it for today. Thanks everyone for joining, and see you next Thursday on ACDC. Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, bye.
you.